This is a Res-Lok filter made by Sinclair. It's a very old one, and a ham radio brought it in for me to tune it. And initially they brought it with very short rods. I could not tune it for their ham radio frequency. I was able to reach about 100 megahertz, and I needed a couple of megahertz down to 144 something. And I said, "Oh, I can't tune it. You need to give me longer tuning rods." Okay, so they brought it a day later, and someone said they got new rods from Home Depot, and I thought, oh, that's weird. How come? Because you have to thread the rods at the end, and you see it's a special type of rod. I don't think you can get it from Home Depot unless you go to a um, one of those machine shops with a rod from Home Depot, and they do the thread for you. I have a thread tool, and I can build a thread at the end of the rod, but I'm not going to drive around to get the rods, cut the rod to size. It take me probably over an hour, and I don't have that time, and I don't know if they are willing to pay for that. And so I took this one apart because when I saw it coming with new rods, the correct length, and I was curious how they've done it inside, because some ham radios are really good, other people are just amateurs, they are kind of monkeying around, but these ones did a really good job. And so I took it apart anyway to make sure I'm not wasting time, because when they mounted the rods inside, if they broke something, I'm trying to tune and I'm wasting my time. I mean, I'm getting paid anyway, but I don't want to waste the shop time. And so I want to show you what's inside of one of these filters. That's the reason I took it apart, and of course to inspect it. And so I need to check these capacitors here, these coils, loops, which make a resonant circuit. And so you have to adjust these ones by using these screws here on top. So I'm not recording this video for the purpose of showing you how to tune these things, but it's just a kind of an idea how they are built. And since this rod is loose, I'm going to show you that's the way you tune these things. So you extend the length of these things, and that's the way you tune the circuit. And of course they are gold plated. It's really good quality stuff, even they are probably 20 something years old. And the rod goes through this tube and goes right here, and it's really nicely made and has some nice good quality isolators inside. I can see some work being done and some dirt here. Actually no, it's not dirt, it's just old glue. So this is okay here. No, it's not glue. Actually it's not glue. They got some liquid, because I see here this is type of a glue. This is good, this is kind of loose, but they got the glue and some liquid, so I need to clean that stuff out and put it back together, see what's the tuning performance after so many years. But I see the silver plating is still good, so I like the way they built it long time ago. I got one from Sinclair for UHF, for mobile applications and lower power. and I saw the screws were not silver plated. The locking nuts were a really poor design, the way they use locking nuts, and I tried to tune it, and one side, I don't know, transmit side, receive side, doesn't matter, was very sensitive, very finicky. Okay, just one touch it was jumping half megahertz or something. I didn't like it. So this one, it's a good quality product, and I showed you earlier what's on the top, and this is just some caps, and yeah, that's it. So these are critical length. Once a customer, another ham radio, came in a shop with one of these things broken, and if you want to redo this one, you can't really do. You have to order the whole thing with connectors installed and cables installed at the proper length according to the frequency. And why? Because this is a T type of connector, and if this one is broken here, you have to replace this whole cable, which is crimped here, is crimped with another one. So you would have to replace this, which is connected to this, which, so it's a whole assembly. You can't really replace just one connector, because like I said, you replace this one, but you have this one chained together with this cable, and if you cut this cable to attach another connector here, it's already shorter. Could be 5 millimeter, no, even longer, maybe 1 centimeter shorter, so you can put a new connector on. Yeah, so it's no point to try to monkey with one of those if they are broken. So what I ended up doing is I just used the existing mesh, the existing grounding, and I built a big solder around, like instead of this crimping sleeve, I built a big solder, like a cone. I made actually a nice cone with a silver solder type, so I kept heating up this area in order to melt the solder, and I kept building, and I built, like I said, a cone, which was a really good ground. And of course,